I did not expect to be filming this video this soon with this opinion. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my in-depth review of the new Tread by Everlane sneakers. Hey guys, this is Sophia again, and today, like I just said, I'm going to be sharing my in-depth review of the new Tread by Everlane sneakers. I know in my unboxing video, which by the way, if you have not seen that, it also includes my first impressions. I will link it in the description box down below so you can watch that before you watch this. Or you can watch this first, it doesn't really matter to me. I know I said in that video that I probably won't be doing an in-depth review until the 3-month mark. However, I have worn this shoe enough in the last month that I feel like I can, and I know and I really don't think my opinion will change of the shoe. So I thought, you know, why not just do it now, put it out there, because I know this shoe is relatively new on the market. So if you are seriously considering buying this shoe, I highly recommend you finish this video first. I am almost certain this video is going to be pretty long, so I apologize, but at the same time, I'm not going to apologize for giving you my honest feedback on this shoe that is honestly pretty pricey to begin with. It's $98, so you're not spending a cheap amount for this shoe. So let's just get right into it. So as always, my shoe review is going to focus on 4 categories. 1 is comfort, 2 is breaking in, 3 is material, 4 is just my overall opinion of the shoe. So without further ado, let's just head straight into it. So comfort. To me, this was obviously going to be the most important aspect of the shoe, and similar to my unboxing video, as soon as I put these on, my feet felt extremely comfortable, and honestly, my opinion of that has not changed. I could wear this shoe for an entire day and not have any issues in terms of the soles on my feet. My feet were not tired out after walking in these, so as a sneaker, it does its job. You're comfortable and you can wear this all day long. Next is material. Usually for material, I kind of try to separate it as its own category, but for this shoe, I cannot really separate it from the comfort factor. So I know just now I said that the shoe is extremely comfortable on the sole of my feet, but I did not say anything about the top of my feet. So the material, if you go on their website, which I will also link it in the description box so you can check it out with me as I'm saying this, but please don't quote me word for word because I am staring at you, I'm not staring at the computer screen, so just bear that in mind. The shoe itself is made of, I want to say recycled leather. So obviously leather, it's gonna take some time breaking in. And I recognize that because I have a lot of leather shoes, especially by Everlane, so I understand that. So I know that leather takes some time to mold to your body. I know that it always takes time to break in, which is why I had initially wanted to give this shoe, excuse me, a good 3 months. And I cannot do that because with any time I wore this, nothing would change. So when I wear this shoe, I bought this shoe in a size 7, and I am, for the most part, a true size 7. Sometimes I go 7.5 depending on what I'm wearing. For mules, I like to go 8 because I like pointy mules and that's just the way it is. So they don't do half sizes, which on its own sucks because they really should, especially if they know and they recognize that the shoe itself and the leather itself is going to be tight. I was chatting with someone on Instagram and they were saying that they wanted this shoe, but they couldn't buy it because the size 7 was way too tight and the next size up was way too big. And they had even asked the sales associate at an Everlane store whether or not the leather would loosen up, and the sales associate was like, no, it will not. So they know it won't loosen up, but they won't cater to half sizes, so they're just not that comfortable on the feet, on the top of the feet at least. So what happens for me is as soon as I put my feet in the shoe, I'm fine. I can walk all day, I can enjoy my day, I can walk around, I can jump around, I can do whatever I usually do on a day-to-day basis. But around the 4-hour mark, I get a pressure on my toes. And this pressure comes on 2 of my toes. It comes on my big toe and my little pinky toe. So what happens on my big toe is I have a pressure of the leather pushing down on my big toe. So my big toe, I don't know what any other toes look like. My big toe kind of curves up. So it points up, the nail points up. So I am very wary of that, especially when it comes to sneakers, because I do need that give in sneakers to be able to kind of mold to my big toe. I get a weird pressure from right here. So, wrong side, right here. That's one thing. And then my pinky toe, I get a different kind of pressure. I get the pressure of it from the side, where it's like, oh, your feet is too wide, so I gotta push it in. That combination is just so uncomfortable. It's not even painful. I can't even use the word painful. It's just dead uncomfortable. And that sucks because, like I said, the shoe itself is so comfortable. I can walk all day in these, and at the 4-hour mark, without fail, every time, I get that weird pressure from all sides, and I just cannot deal with it. And I know I also said in my unboxing video that this part of the shoe is hard. Like, I'm like really hitting it, this part. And it's not even, you know how like with most shoes, and I know I said this in the unboxing video as well, most shoes it's this that really rubs against your ankles, you know, that's what kind of gives you blisters when you're breaking in new shoes, but not this shoe. It's this entire backing that requires you to break in, and if you don't break it in, it's just it's like a stiff cardboard that won't break down. And sometimes like I still get, you know, some pain from my entire back heel, but that is rare. So I will say that I feel like eventually you kind of just get used to this, but it's still like, ow. Oh God, that happened twice now. It's still like quite hard, and I'm like, if I really push at it, like it has gotten some give, but it's still not enough give to make the entire back of my feet comfortable. So in terms of the material, I'm just not a big fan of this shoe's leather. And I'm not gonna say this shoe because I do love the comfort and I probably won't give that up, but it just irks me that the leather is so stiff. And I know it's probably because it's recycled leather, and you know, I'm not trying to fault them for using that because that's great for the environment, but at the same time, like, if you know it's going to be tight, if you know the leather is not going to want to mold, why did you not do half sizes instead of just a full size? Because if you know that everyone's going to want a half size and no one's going to want a full size, like what is the point of a full size? You might as well have just come out with a half size. Anyways, that is my take on the material. Oh, actually one last thing. I will say that I did get the cream version. It probably looks white on camera. I did get the cream version. It's really easy to clean. That's like the one good thing about this material is that I can just use a paper towel and just wipe it off, wipe dirt off. The sole is a little bit harder. You probably would want to use a toothbrush to clean this because it's like a rubber-ish. So that's just something to keep in mind in terms of like cleaning. Okay, I know I skipped a category, so let's just go back to breaking in. Although I know I kind of already chatted about that in the material section. I try really hard to keep the categories separate when I'm doing an in-depth review, but for this shoe, it's kind of hard to do that. So like I said, in terms of breaking in, it's really just the toe material and the backing that needs some time. But in terms of the actual shoe itself, like putting like on the feet, it's totally fine. It's totally comfortable. It's totally easy to break in, quotation marks, because there are other aspects that are not easy. And honestly, I have nothing else to say about it. Like, the cushion is comfortable on the feet, and I'm just really irked by the material. Okay, now my overall review. Actually, this review might not even be that long. So I recently traveled with this shoe because I like the comfort and I wanted to break it in more because my intended goal was to do a 3-month review in the 3 hour? Yeah, that's how long it takes to break in a shoe. In the 3-month mark. So I wanted to wear it or push myself to wear it as often as I could without killing my feet, basically. So I was like, you know what, I'll travel with it because that's probably the best time to test out a pair of shoes, is whether or not you can go on a plane with it, go through TSA. I have TSA pre-check, so I don't have to take off my shoes. But walk all day in it, do stuff, run around, go on errands, whatever, touristy stuff. You get the point of traveling. I had such a hard time wearing these shoes on the flight. Now, if you don't fly very often, you might not know this, but when you're flying, because of the weird air pressure, by the way, also don't quote me on this, I'm just saying this. I know it's kind of true though, but in terms of the physics, I'm not sure. But when you're flying and you're going up in the air, because of the air pressure on the plane, your feet kind of gets larger. Not that much larger, but like there's a little bit of swelling happening because of the weird pressure. Like I honestly don't know why your feet swells. So on the flight to LA, which is a 6-hour flight or 5.5, whatever, 5 to 5 hour flight, 5.5 hour flight. On the first leg, I was fine because I kept my feet in the shoe the entire time. Now on the flight back, because I had already walked all day in these shoes, I was like, you know what, I kind of want to give my feet a break, and like I'm kind of like at that point, it was an entire day, right? And as I said, at around the 4-hour mark, I was getting weird pressure. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna like kind of wear these like slippers, you know, so like my like the back, like the lower part of my foot was like kind of on here, and like my heel was jutted out a little bit. You get it. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to wear this like a pair of slippers on the flight. I do that, and in the middle of the flight, I go, you know what, I need to go to the bathroom. And this is not TMI, don't worry. And I want to put my feet back in the shoe so I can go to the bathroom easier, because like I said, this backing is so stiff that, you know how most shoes, if you put your foot on, like it'll kind of sag right away. This one doesn't sag. So I was like, you know what, I need to put this on and go to the bathroom. I couldn't fit my feet back in the shoe, so I could not go to the bathroom. To be fair, I wasn't busting, so I was like, whatever, that's fine. When we landed back in Boston, I still could not put my feet in this freaking shoe. And that really bothered me. I had to like really put a lot of pressure on my feet to be able to slip it in there. And once I got my foot in there, I was in so much pain. I physically and actually thought this must be what the women back in China way a couple centuries ago with the foot binding. This must have been what it felt like, which I know is a gross exaggeration, and I understand that. This is 100% a first world problem, but you know, you're sitting here watching a review, so you get it. I was in so much pain, and that was also the moment where I realized that one of my feet, I think, is longer than the other. So one foot was in a little bit of pain, but it wasn't in as much pain because it was able to kind of glide into the shoe a little easier. But the other foot, oh my God, it was so painful. It was so painful I couldn't even go home through the train, even though I wanted to, because I live really close to my airport, so there was almost no reason for me to take a lift in the middle of the day, but I did it anyway because I couldn't move my feet and I didn't want to walk in these. This is like the first time I'm gonna say this, and I hope it's the last, but it probably won't be. But I really do not recommend these sneakers. Oof, that hurts me to say, because I really do love Everlane, and Everlane, if you're watching this is by no means a diss. I just think that you're missing some sizes, and that's about it. But yes, I do not recommend these. If they come out with a second pair, I'm still gonna want to give them a go, because I'd like to hope that, you know, they will come up with another pair. If they come out with a half size, I might get it again. I'll probably get in a different color, because obviously, and might do another unboxing and another review, but for now, these shoes are gonna have to retire from my wardrobe unless I'm going grocery shopping for like 30 minutes. I am just not happy with the way these make my feet feel in terms of everything else, not even the comfort, which sucks, because that's what a sneaker should be. You should be wearing it for comfort more than anything, but when it starts getting uncomfortable and even borderline painful, you know it's not gonna work. And I've given up a lot of shoes due to that fact of lack of comfort. So unfortunately, I cannot recommend these. If you're still interested in getting them, or if your feet tend to run a little small so you can go the full size, I'm gonna leave a link to the product below and you can check it out and buy at your own risk, I don't know. And this review is not sponsored. I bought this shoe on my own. I am giving this review due to the fact that I know a lot of people want this shoe but are still hesitant about it. I never want to be that person where just for a free product or to get paid, I will sell my soul and not be honest, because lying about anything just kind of hurts my heart a little bit and kind of makes my soul creak. So I want you to know that I do not recommend these shoes, like I said, unless your feet tend to run small to begin with. I hope this video was helpful and informative. If you have any questions about the Tread by Everlane or any of their other shoes, to be honest, you can leave it in the comments down below. I will leave all my Everlane reviews and unboxings in the description box. I have a lot. I don't know why my channel is becoming an Everlane review channel, but why not? If you have any other questions, comments, or concerns about anything else, you can also leave it in the comments down below, and I will see you next Sunday for another video. Bye!